Oh yes, the Ruben Amorim era has officially begun. That was, well, easily our best performance of the season so far. And there are an awful lot of positives to talk about. There are still a few negatives, don't get me wrong, but after a match where we've just won 4-0, we do need to talk about the positives first. And there are multiple, like we said. We've won 4-0. It's another clean sheet. It's a home win in the Premier League. It's the first sort of like big win that we've really had where I've looked at us and gone, we've looked really good today. Not a single player, I think you can say, had a bad game today. Everyone was playing their parts well. Even Rashford was playing well. I thought Xerxes, as the bounce-off player, played really, really well. Exactly what you want from that striker position. The one that's going to hold it up and bring the likes of Rashford and Ahmad and Bruno and Dalot and whoever from midfield into the game. He did that really well. But then when he fed it, he got in behind as well and he had opportunities and he scored his 2 goals, which is really good to see. Considering a lot of people were hanging him out to dry, myself included. He's not had a very good start to his Manchester United career, but we saw today the player that we signed and he looked confident. And maybe that's just what he needed. He needed that start. He needed Ruben Amorim to say to him, you're going to get the start against Everton. Rasmus had his chance in midweek. He scored 2 goals. You're going to have your chance today. And now he scored 2 goals. And all of a sudden, we've got 2 strikers scoring goals. And I love that. And again, I loved how he linked up the play with everyone else. Like, we come out of this game where Xerxes got 2 goals. Rashford's got 2 goals. Bruno's got 2 assists. Ahmad's got 2 assists. Those are your 4 forward line players because, as we know, the way Amorim likes to do it is 1 attack-minded wing-back, 1 defensive-minded wing-back. So in transitions, we can then go into a back 4 where Mazraoui plays right-back and Dalot plays left-back with the 2 centre-backs. So the fact that our 4 outward attacking players have all contributed to the 4 goals is a massive, massive positive for Ruben Amorim. And again, especially when you consider the fact that our best 2 players against Bodo Glimt in terms of an offensive output were Højlund and Garnacho, and they didn't play today. Okay, Garnacho came on. Højlund didn't come on. But that shows that already in just a week and a half, he's building something and he's building a structure that these players are starting to get used to and it's starting to be effective. And look, are we now going to go to the Emirates and suddenly turn up and put in this incredible performance and win? I don't think so. Like, again, this was game 3. We've looked better from Ipswich to Bodo Glimt. We've looked better from Bodo Glimt to Everton. Hopefully, we'll look better from Everton to Arsenal. But even playing better than what we did today might not be enough to beat Arsenal at the Emirates off the back of their very impressive, shall we say, 75 minutes with a panic 15 minutes in the middle against West Ham yesterday. But, you know, I'm a little bit more confident. I can sit here and go, do you know what? We've got a team that looks a bit more up for it, that's putting in a lot of effort, they're creating chances, and most importantly, they're scoring goals. Something that we weren't doing enough under Erik ten Hag. We've got players that weren't scoring goals, like Xerxes, like Højlund, like Rashford, all scoring goals in the last couple of games, and that is such a massive positive. I'll now talk about the negatives ever so slightly. We still concede too many chances. Onana has come away again with another 2 or 3 really, really good saves today. A couple, like, genuine class saves towards the end of the game. He had to save a couple of free kicks. And just all-round play, he wasn't as safe as I would like him to be. And that is the big worry, is that this was Everton. This is an Everton side that do not score a lot of goals and still had a fair few chances today. And if I'm being honest, I think we were lucky to be 1-0 up when we went 1-0 up. Everton were the better team for the first 20 minutes. There's no doubt about that. We had a decent first 5 minutes where we looked to control the game, but not a lot was happening. Once Everton got a foot in the game, they really stepped up, and we had all sorts of problems in those first 20 minutes until we got that goal. And we'll talk about that goal in a moment, but that is my concern about Arsenal. Arsenal, historically, under Mikel Arteta, are fast starters. Look at that West Ham game. 4 goals in the first half hour. We didn't score until just before the half hour mark because that was a lucky goal which then kicked us into... It wasn't lucky, but it was a goal against the run of play which then got us going. If we play like that against Arsenal, we will still be 2 or 3-0 down before we get going, at which point we know with these players, they more than likely won't get going. So that's my still concern. We're still slow starters. We still get run around a little bit too easily. We give away cheap free kicks. That's the other concern going into the Arsenal game. Mainu is suspended. Martinez is suspended. Both for picking up 5 yellow cards. Because, again, we're still a little bit sloppy. And we still give away cheap free kicks that result in yellow cards. And that means that those 2 players are suspended. Apart from that, though, it was a fantastic performance. It genuinely was. And like I said, from the moment that first goal went in until full time, I was so happy. And the spark for it all was Amad Diallo again. By far and away the player of the match today. And there were some other big contenders. Bruno, Rashford, Xerxes. Again, I thought Mazraoui was faultless. I think De Ligt was absolutely brilliant until he went off. I hope whatever his concern was isn't serious. I thought Mainu played well. First game for him for 2.5 months. I thought Casemiro did well till he came off. I thought the players that came on, I think Maguire did all right. I think Shaw looked decent. I think Ugarte just fitted in perfectly when he came on as well. There is some squad chemistry building and we're playing good. But it all started today with Amad. And honestly, I think, can you put all 4 goals down to Amad? Certainly the first one you can, because it's his hard press that wins the ball back, gets us moving. Bruno plays it across. Sorry, that's the second goal. First goal came from the corner. Completely forgot about that. My apologies. First goal was the corner, which was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Bruno with a, I was actually speaking to one of my mates at the time going, well, we're not going to score from a set piece against Everton, are we? Unless we do something clever. And that's exactly what we did. We did something clever. Bruno played to the edge of the box. The technique from Rashford to get over that ball and keep it down. Pickford has a go at Branthwaite, by the way. He ain't getting that. That's in the bottom left-hand corner from Marcus Rashford. Branthwaite just tips it over Pickford rather than just letting it go in the bottom corner. That's what got us going. From there, that's when Amad then stepped up. He won the ball back off of Branthwaite again, and his drive created the chance for Bruno Fernandes, who squared it across. He was looking for Amad, but he overhit it. Thankfully, Xerxes in the right place at the right time, put the ball in the back of the net. But Amad had already done that on a couple of other occasions before that moment. There was the one where he broke away, got around Pickford, cut it back, and there was no one there. That was in that first period of the game where I don't think we were really up to pace. But like I say, once that first goal went in, it went and we kept on and we kicked on from there. Then again, he wins the ball back again, plays it through, gets another goal for Rashford, and then, of course, heavily involved once again in the final goal for Joshua Xerxes. Another brilliant composed finish to make it 4-0. And Manchester United are moving themselves up the table. I haven't actually looked where we are in the table. I haven't even looked if the Tottenham game finishes a draw, to be honest. I'll have a quick look now. So, if we look here at the results, Chelsea won, Tottenham drew. So, where does that put us? 9th place. So, we're above Newcastle now. We're above Aston Villa now. After their defeat, we're only 1 point behind Tottenham. We're only 3 points off top 4. We're only 6 points off second. So we are making our way back up the Premier League table. We are looking decent. And, if we beat Arsenal on Wednesday night, we're then only 3 points behind them. So it's not all gloom and doom at the moment. It really isn't. And there are a lot of positives, as I've just mentioned, to take away from this match. Yes, it's a shame that we've lost Mainu and Martinez. But we've proven over the course of this week that we've got players that can come into the team. Shaw can come in at left centre-back. So many options. I imagine Ugarte would have played against Arsenal anyway. But we've got Garnacho to come back into the team as well. So we've got options. Who does he start up front now? That's probably the big question. Do you start Højlund against Arsenal or do you start Xerxes against Arsenal? I still wouldn't play both. I think that would be a mistake. It's one or the other. But I'm looking at us now, off the back of the last 2 games, saying we've got 2 ready and raring to go strikers who suit this system. And look, Gabriel and Saliba are very, very good defenders, but they won't like a physical battle. We've seen that before. I say that. They like a physical battle. They're big centre-halves. Of course, they like a physical battle, but if we can cause them problems by hitting balls into Xerxes and into Højlund to try and draw them out of position, it could suit how we play. The only concern is, of course, Arsenal did just beat Sporting Lisbon 5-1. So, again, I'm not holding my hopes up, but really, really happy with what I've seen today. Yes, it was only Everton, but the crowd needed a positive performance. I needed a positive performance, and certainly those players needed a positive performance. And that is exactly what we've got. And for me to be able to sit here and say I'm feeling good going into the Arsenal game is a hell of a far cry from where we were shall we say, at the start of the season going into that Liverpool game. So, fingers crossed we can get a result on Wednesday night. I still don't think we will, but I'm a bit more positive that there could be a chance. So, as always, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you very soon.